Well, good evening and welcome to round 2 of the XRL Racing League here at Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. I'm Pete Markroft, and joining me in the box as well as usual is Dan Fish. Now, this track came a key feature of the F1 calendar in 1999 in a race that was won by Eddie Irvine, but since then it's been dominated by world champions Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso, Jenson Button, Kimi Raikkonen and Michael Schumacher are all multiple winners here, and single winners of course. And here we are on the Sembcorp circuit on the outskirts of Kuala Lumpur. A very strange circuit in many ways, because sectors 1 and 2 are quite twisty and tricky, and then you've got those massive long straights of sector 3. Do you go high to medium and try and pull away from the pack, or do you go low, drag and catch them up in the third sector? We're going to move in for a thrill tonight, folks.
Right, so we are here, it's raining as usual, but shouldn't be any rain for the race. Well, like usually, last year, there was 14 out of the 20 races were, I don't know what it's saying, please reconnect controller when my controller's on, but yeah, 14 out of 20 races last season were wet. So far there's been 1 out of 1, but it shouldn't be any rain for this one, so we will get to the track just after I've took my controller out, because for some reason it just says please reconnect controller, although my controller is connected.
Well, while you're sorting that out, I'll give you a brief audio commentary of that being done by F1 Nice, as the rain's actually stopped on track. So it might actually quickly dry off here, and we'll see the lap time start to tumble. And he's just going to sector 3 now, and he's heading up through the Kenry Lake corner in towards Sunway Lagoon. And that brings you onto the back straight of Penang, one of the first of 2 DRS zones here this year. And the guy, the bollard, on the inside, he's hit the bollard, low traction, and he's started to warm his tyres of his. I think he's hoping for one more flying lap. Coming towards the end of the final corner now, it leads onto the main Kuala Lumpur straights, which I believe is the other DRS zone. I'm not a fan of DRS zones following each other. If you watch the Abu Dhabi race today, you'll know exactly what I mean. And he splits the time moves on a 1:40.1, so that's a pretty fast benchmark, it must be said.
LGS has lost connection within 2 minutes.
That's a... EMBU's just gone top of a blistering lap time, 1:38.9, so displays 9 by over a second. And he's been displaced now as well at the top of the charts by Robbo, who's done a 1:36.8. And the track is beginning to dry already. Typical of Malaysia, it's hot and it's humid, so when it's wet, the water's down, it's slippery as hell. But as soon as the rain stops, it dries up very, very quickly. I reckon we'll get the option tyres on very, very swiftly indeed.
Sean Bean completes the lap and does a 40.1, putting in P5. Can you try and get LGS in for me?
Jumbo on a 1:38.3.
I'm on board with F1 Nige against about to start the third sector. Not sure what the lap's looking like at the moment. Should be a slight improvement, I think.
As I say, his first lap was quite a bit more like a banker, but the problem is now, with the change in the weather conditions, those tyres are going to get less and less effective. So I won't be surprised if he dives straight to the pits on this one. So you got Nige now coming on to the back straight of Penang Straight.
Now this is definitely an improvement on his lap, and it's a 38.3, which puts him P3 on the grid. LGS has joined back. It's a shame that he's lost connection so early on, because we've moved him up this week. Based on his fantastic pace, but you know, connection's been an issue for him.
A lot of times really are tumbling now, because Romo, who was provisionally pole, is now down in 7th place, and the 10ths have been taken off the time as it's gone on.
Just look how tight it is. It's 4 tenths separating Robbo and the pole, which is Danny Pearce 95. Tupper's in P2, doing well for Caterham. Jambo, Nige, Amy, Lightning are all up there. We haven't seen anything of Mr. Ice Cold Andy though, last week's winner. But let's get back out onto the track anyway. And
if he's been paying attention, he's been obviously seeing the conditions getting better, and he has indeed come out. He's just coming onto the final straight, about to start his lap. He's coming towards the end of it now. He's on the intermediate tyres though, so it's a question of whether they're going to be very effective. Coming into the final hairpin now on the brakes, so he's gone a little wide on entry, but he's swung round. Thinking very carefully.
He's on a lap time. He's on a lap.
And he's done a 1:36.6.
Whew.
That's a staggering 1.5 seconds faster than Danny Pierce. That is unbelievable.
What's the stream like, guys? Is there any jumping with the resolution on an improvement, or just let us know?
Well, one person said apparently I'm very quiet, but people say I'm fine, so I don't know why that would be.
Turn your volume up.
Touche. But strangely, they're all staying on the intermediate tyres. Jambo's come out now on fresh set of intermediates. He's just started his warm-up lap.
I think you've
got... I can see on my screen.
I think you've got a different screen, because it's still raining on my screen.
Right, great. So we've got no idea what the weather conditions are like. Wonderful.
Well, it's very, very light rain. Just a wet track, really. It will slowly dry out over time, but...
Well, actually, Lewis Hamilton's on a lap now in the Caterham, but it looks like that's backed off. He's coming on the final straight, and yeah, he's swinging straight into the pits here. No laps time from him.
Watching Tapas just going a little bit wide, losing traction on the grass. Not one of his better laps, definitely. He's down.
Yeah, it's just coming to this final corner now, and he's backed off again. I think we're in that other lull halfway through the session where people are just getting to the end of the laps and preparing for the final run.
I'm on board with Robbo. He's currently P9 after his first run. And he's on a lap. Not sure how good it is yet, though. Probably he's got to be hard pressed to improve on that time, I think, but keep an eye.
Well, it depends if the track's got a little bit drier, and if the tyres are just in that effective state in the middle point. This really annoying hairpin is very dippy and very hard to get round, but very patient with a throttle, you can get up there very easily. And now into sector 3, a very tight fast corner, leads into these magnificent fluid S's. At full speed, you can go here flat out, and it feels absolutely wonderful. And now you're into this tricky corner, which cambers away from you, and it also tightens all the way around, so you have to be very, very patient before you're onto the Penang Straight, and this time seems to be slightly improved, but only maybe a tenth or two maybe at the most.
Yeah, let's just keep an eye on that. He's now going to come up to this last hairpin. Going a little bit deep. Oh, and he goes in the
He decided to brake and abort that lap at the last possible second. You know, Conorize is on he's just started out lap actually, he's not yet started his lap, so he's just on his way round. While too much to elite, he's slowing into the final hairpin, and yep, he's into the pits as well.
Good to see a full lobby tonight. Oh, OGS. Obviously not good.
Well, Perez is just about to start his first lap.
Yeah, on
he's currently showing us right at the bottom, so here we go, just splitting the sign beams now. Heading down this magnificent long straight, you can really get to top speed, so you've got to be very careful in the braking zone. Taking a wider line into this rather frustrating series of chicanes. They just tighten up all the way around, very similar to China, which is next on the calendar. A little bit of oversteer there, got a lot of tail happy, and the track has started to get dry patches from what I can see. So we might see a banzai lap coming shortly.
Rusty and Turtle Bobbert's both saying, I thought Perez was in GP2. He is in GP2 and he will be racing tomorrow night. But we haven't got, well, WRL Rosberg's not in the league anymore. So he's just in as a reserve tonight whilst we finalise that final driver for the McLaren team.
He's quickly gone through the clear curve. Well, he's gone all four wheels off on the outside.
Got too much curb on the inside and it chucked him off.
Well, that's where Vitaly Petrov famously did a almost quad bike jump in his car a couple of years ago on the steering column.
That's right.
So into the chicanes now. Wide. Oh, he's gone very, very wide there, and he's eating junk on the tyres. I think we're at the point now where the intermediates are the tyre you don't want to be on.
He's getting out of the way for the Caterham, who's on a lap. Don't know who that is. That isn't Sean Bean. We'll keep an eye on the Red Bull Challenger, Sean Bean. He's now 39.3 so far.
So he's just about to start his next lap, so here goes the curve. And over the sign beams now, trying to get as top speed as he can. Not yet topped out, so that's good for the DRS in the race. And he kept quite tight to the inside line, smooth driving there. Getting on the throttle very slowly, very patiently. Oh, too much curb on the inside there. When it's wet, you don't want to ride in those
definitely.
curbs. Heading down through this fast, sweeping right-handed out and onto the Langkawi curve. This is a very strange one. It looks a lot faster than it is. You've got to be very, very precise. Unless you're Sebastian Vettel, who drives on the outside of people here. Down going through these very quick, fast-speed X's, and when it's dry, you can usually do a quick flick of direction with the right setup and go for a full throttle if you're really, really good. Into the clear curve now, kind of like a horseshoe. This, you've got to be careful and precise. And again, people taking it a bit too wide on the exit there.
Yeah.
Not exactly the line I'd go for. The last thing you want to be doing is going wide on the exit unless you've got a lot of asphalt there. At the end of sector 2, just over a minute on his time dashboard there. That's not that bad.
No.
He's got a little wide again.
Not too bad. Not as bad as what Perez was doing anyway.
Now, Perez certainly made a mistake on his lap. Now into this very slow, frustrating corner, uphill braking zone, and a very tight corner indeed. And now he's onto the Pangyang straight. DRS zone in the race, of course, but wet tyres, so DRS is not allowed here at the moment. And into the final hairpin. He's not getting anywhere near his top speed, so he's obviously geared his car up for the race here and sacrificed qualifying due to it being wet. That can be a good gamble if you get it right. And is he going to break his time?
No.
No, he's not.
Not much in it, but no. He left some of his curves so he can have a second crack at it. And he will get another go if he's got the fuel in the car. Sometimes you can fuel the car up.
Yeah, Conor Rice is currently on a lap. He's just gone through both the chicanes, and he's on his way now down to the clear curve. Very early on the throttle, but had to get out of it because it threw him a little wide, though he did avoid going on the curb. And heading now into this really annoying hairpin. It's downhill and then uphill, so you really feel it as you're trying to get your power down. It can be a real nightmare. And the sector 2 now. Oh, he's got a bit wide on the exit. Very strange place to go wide, that. I've never seen that before. And a bollard's in the middle of the track randomly. What are the marshals doing?
They don't want to get themselves wet. They're probably just hiding somewhere.
Well, onto the Pangyang straight now. He's gone on the inside very well there. It's very one-sided corner. You'd be surprised how easy it is to go off. Sebastian Buemi famously did that and started crying over the radio a couple of years back. Down the straight now into the final hairpin.
He's
and
kept all of his curves. Kept all of his curves.
Unless he's got a curse problem.
No, now he's using it. He's going. This is a warm-up lap. This is his main time lap. So we'll try and get back to him a little bit because we haven't.
Well, Robbo's just about to start a lap, and the sister Ferrari is currently P9 on a 1:38.6. That's not a slow lap time by any means.
No, it's not.
That just shows you how tight the midfield is at the moment.
Yeah, that's
But the big question is, can anyone close the gap to Ice Cold Andy? Because that gap up front is a monumental 1.2 seconds. With Jambo currently in P2 on a 37.8, and then Tuppers a 37.9 in P3. So it's a bit of unusual challenges here. F19 rounds out the top 4 and a 38.0. So that's 4 tenths between the top 4. And indeed, Danny Pearce a 1:38.1. So half a second covering the top 5.
Well, we were saying last week we were a bit surprised to see Tuppers struggling. But he seems to have found a bit more pace this week in the wet conditions here, so that's good.
Indeed. Now, Perez, meanwhile, he's not yet set a lap. He's just gone through the clear curve, and he's gone off again. He's getting very close to going completely all 4 wheels off. He managed to bring it back into the uphill hairpin, and he's gone very, very wide. He's not liking these conditions, but at the same time, his pace is not that bad. Going around to the final part of Sector 3 and into the fast sweeping chicanes. And again, he's afraid to get too close to the curbs. His car's obviously very skittish in the changeable conditions. But started to fishtail out on him now towards the Pangyang straight, but he managed to just bring it back under control, using all his curves and the first of the DRS zones to push on. Currently on a 1:25, he's just coming up to the 100-metre braking board, so this could be a ballpark time. And Conor Rice has started a vote to end the session for some reason, as Perez has gone into the pits about setting a lap time.
I'm on board with XRL, too much elite in the Red Bull. P12 currently. He should improve on his time. Not sure if he's going
to... Sauber?
I thought it looks like a Red... I'm sorry, I'm Red Bull from last season. He's now in the Sauber, you're right. It looks like a Red Bull for some reason from behind, in my opinion. I don't know why.
Are we welcome to the commentary box, Murray Walker?
Jambo in P2, he's done a good job in the Force India. Is he going to improve upon his time? No.
Nope.
And finally,
behind him, we've got XRL Lightning,
who's given up.
Who's going very, very slowly, so he's obviously not on a lap, is he?
Definitely not. And Andy has just run away with that. Oh my god, I was not expecting that in terms of time.
So a 1.2 second advantage But just because you're that fast in qualifying doesn't mean it'll hold up in the race. We've seen that before. And again, the closeness of the field behind is the interesting thing. If he pits first and comes out behind all these guys who are proper scrapping, his race could be completely ruined.
Well, definitely, and you never know what sort of setups these guys are put on, if they're more leaning towards qualifying or race pace. But that is definitely good. Rusty just taking the piss there, saying, facepalm Bernie, yes, okay.
To be fair, it's not as bad as when Murray was going, and it's Senna's one, and it comes up Alan Prost.
Right, well, yeah, Andy's impressive. It's a Force India 1-2 on the grid, which is, well, it's too good for them, isn't it? You know, I was racing with Andy earlier. I didn't think his pace was fantastic. It was very, very good, but it was beatable. And, well, he's just blown that out of the water, hasn't he, with a lap time there, 1.2 seconds quicker than anyone else.
As I say, you don't get any points for qualifying, no. I mean, don't forget, again, I've said it before, Catalonia in this year's F1 season, when Hamilton was right near the front in the race, he crept home 12th. Just because you've got the pace on the Saturday doesn't mean that when the points are brought home on the Sunday, you've got the pace you need.
No, definitely. And we'll get out onto track in about 60 seconds or so. Let's just have a quick, once it's finished waiting for players, let's have a quick look actually who's finished where and done what in a bit more detail.
It says raining is 0%. It says chance of rain 0.
Yeah, it's still not looking very nice out there. It's still quite cloudy, but yeah, hopefully, you know, it'll be okay, but you just don't know with this game.
Nice. You've got no one behind you but me, so this means we can retire nice and easy.
I've got... Oh no, good. LGS has gone in front of you. That's fantastic. Right, we've got LGS who disconnected. Last, we've got Perez. Too much has struggled there. Both Red Bull... Oh, it's not Red Bull, is he? I've done it again. Red Bull, Sean Bean in 11th. Connor in the Ferrari in 10th, and his teammate in 9th, so not the best from Ferrari, and I think Robbo was really unfortunate last week, so he needs to get some points. Lightning in 8th, 7th is Lewis Hamilton. Sorry, what were you going to say, Amy? Amy, I was on Amy's name, and I just, not having a good night.
What have you done with Dan Fisk? What have you done with the guy?
Right,
who are you?
I'm going to sit in the corner and just, like, I'm not even going to speak tonight.
I'm not doing this solo, punk. You don't get out of it that easily. Well, someone's already read it up anyway. Nice of them to do so. Well, anyway, Ice Cold Andy showed that he's got the pace, but then again, from 2nd down to 6th, there was about half a second between those guys. And I said it before, if he burns his tyres out and ends up going in behind these guys, his race could be well and truly compromised. So this race is far from over. And of course, it says 0%, but how many times have you found out when it started raining?
Right, so here we go, on the grid at Sepang for round 2 of the XRL F1 Division Championship, brought to you by GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. Mr. Ice Cold Andy is on pole, I'm in 14th, and my teammate is last. Get in. One up for the team.
Your teammate deliberately got a penalty, that's why.
Right, so the LGS.
As we all know, we're going to have 5 lights on the grid, and then once those 5 lights go out, we are going to be racing here at Sepang, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and we are underway now! So getting off the line, Ice Cold Andy's got a terrible start, and
Jambo's gone.
jumps him off the up again. So Sebastian Vettel at front, or it's Ice Cold Andy, he's been taken over by teammate Jambo, and we're on the outside, gone wide, and that's that man, when Nigel scratched on through on the inside, takes 2nd place. And a bit of
Caterham spun.
So Jambo's found himself under increasing pressure now from the Sauber, which is really getting into the draft and trying to get around the turn 4. But behind them there's an almighty scrap between 5th place and 8th. It's absolute chaos. There's about 6 cars all fighting for the front, really battling hard. But but they've all managed to get through cleanly. So Mr. Ice Cold Andy is back in the lead in first place. In second place, we've got F1 Nice chasing him down very, very quickly. In third place, we've got Robbo, who's made a lightning start.
He has.
From ninth to third. In fourth place, we've got the Sauber being piloted by Danny Pearce. And in fifth, we've got, well, he was in fifth, that Jambo, but he's under massive pressure now from XRL Lightning, who's taken all over the inside of the hairpin. And that's a fantastic drive to get through, but he's gone too wide, and Jambo's taken the position back.
Now, I don't know who the guy who spun was. I think it might be Tuppers. He was running well, and he's actually gone right down. I think it's last now. Be interesting to see who's coming and got a penalty for that.
Well, it'll be interesting to do. Well, meanwhile, up ahead, we've got an almighty scrap going on between the Sauber and the Ferrari. Danny Pearce is really lining up the back here, and Robbo's really going to try and do very, very well. But up ahead of him, F1 Nige is not letting Ice Cold Andy get away. These two are close. Battle has been joined, and it'll be interesting to see how these guys go on in the race. I do believe, though, that Ice Cold Andy is on the prime tyres, and if that's the case, then that shows he's going to notice Nige is on the prime tyres, and ahead of him, Danny Pearce is as well. Not Danny Pearce, Ice Cold Andy, sorry. They are both on the prime tyres. They're going long, and they're leading from the front.
Lightning dives down the inside on Jambo, makes the move stick this time on turn one.
Danny Pearce also has got through in third as well. But if you go back to fifth place, there's a train of cars, absolute train of them. Lightning is leading ahead of Jambo, and then behind them you've got the McLaren, which is being piloted here by Perez, and he's being chased by Sean Bean, I believe, in the Red Bull, who's got massive drive off turn 4, and is looking to close him down through these S-chicanes.
Perez has used all of his curves already to defend. Well, they both have.
Pretty much. Oh, that's very, very wide there from Sean Bean. He's gone completely off the track. Evidently struggling on these heavy tanks, and that's a corner cut from Perez. All four wheels up on the inside. So these guys have got to be careful to respect the track limits. The stewards are looking out for that this season.
All very, very tight. Look how close that is.
It is very, very tight indeed. If you go back to ninth place, a confused Emu's down in ninth, being chased by Connorized. Yes, I said that right. Emu is down in ninth. He's really struggling so far in this early part of the race.
What hurts it even more is he's on the option tyres and in ninth place. His teammate is on primes and passing him.
Behind them, of course, we've just seen a pass going off. It's happened off screen, but that was too much too elite, who has snuck on the inside of ex-Lewis Hamilton, is down in 13th place, and then bringing up the rear in last is Tuppers. The caterers are acting like the real-life thing here, and Tuppers is on the option tyre, last place behind his teammates, who is on the prime.
Now, he was the one who spun at turn 1. Now, I was on board a jam.
Tuppers is really afraid to drive against his teammate, but he's taken a late dive at the inside to turn 1, and it looks like he may have made it stick, but is he going to be got back on the second turn? Got a little wide, but he's just got the drive to pull ahead.
LGS on his first race. Connection looks all good. He's in P11. But they're all just sort of following one round the other at the moment.
Ice Cold Andy's got a little better pace than Nige. There's about a second gap between them. He has half a second difference in the fastest laps at the moment. In third place, though, Danny Pearce is not letting him go in the Sauber, and Robbo's sticking quite close to him in the Ferrari as well. Now, the question is, will these tyres die very, very quickly? Because both Robbo and Danny Pearce are on the option, whereas ahead of them, we've got F1 Nige and we've got Ice Cold Andy, who are both on the prime.
Robbo and Perez, two big starters from those two. Perez getting up from 14th or 13th to 7th, and Robbo finding himself in 9th to 3rd.
But Perez is on the prime tyre as well. Oh, he's gone very, very slow into the hairpin. He almost surprised the Red Bull being piloted by Emu behind. Meanwhile, we've got a three-car scrap at the tail end of the points. Sean Bean is leading the Ferrari of Connorized, and he's being backed up at the rear by XRL AGS. Yeah, so these guys are all very close together. Up ahead, though, a bit of a dive at the inside. And it's a very, very dangerous move from Connorized, but Sean Bean's just held the high ground, but DRS activated from Connorized. He's pulled out of the slipstream. He's on the left-hand side. Now, respectful driving here. Both guys giving each other plenty of room. He's going to have to go a long way around at turn 1, but that will give him the better line to turn 2. If he can get the car ahead, but Sean Bean's just holding the high ground. Oh, a little bit of contact there, but they just managed to hold on. They're still side by side. 3 turns later, heading down towards turn 4.
LGS is on in the act.
LGS on the aside. changed the master today, Abu Dhabi on Lewis Hamilton. And unbelievable driving. He's got the inside of Sean Bean as well, but he's just had to back out on the last point. Contact between Conor Rice and Sir Perez as well, but there's no damage. And Conor Rice thinking he got the inside of the fast chicane. This is unbelievable. Can he make it stick? He
no.
He has to back out on the outside.
What a driving that is.
That was fantastic driving. Absolutely close, scrappy, side by side. These guys really going after hammer and tongs here today, putting on some real entertainment.
LGS now going to have a go at Sean. He's on the option tires. He's got to get going. Oh, so's Conor.
In the meantime, we've got Perez who's like following behind. So following behind the champion Sean Bean. These guys are coming by literally half a second at the moment. They're very, very close. And we're coming in towards the first. Oh, there's a bit of a mistake up ahead. One of the cars has gone off. Who is it that's gone off? One of the cars has just gone off the track and lost about 4 or 5 places. I think it might be Danny Pearson, the Sauber. Meanwhile, Conor Rice activates DRS, goes up to the inside of Perez. Perez, I believe, has got his open as well, but he's got better straight line speed, Conor Rice, on the outside of the hairpin. He's got a little too wide, but we've got the marble. No. He might be able to get better drive off the corner, though, down towards turn 1. But look at the speed pickup that Perez has got on Sean Bean. But the DRS advantage is being negated because Sean Bean's got it, and he's actually pulling away from him thanks to the slipstream from the Sauber. Sean Bean on the inside, contact on the inside wheels, but Sean Bean's being respectful, and a tail slip from the Sauber there. But the Sauber just holds the high ground out of turn 3, down towards turn 4. They're still very, very close.
This is such good racing from all of them.
It's very, very close. Is he going to try and dive on the inside? LGS is thinking about it, but he backs out wisely. On the stream, Rusty Nuts is saying GP2 breeds wheel-to-wheel races. They're certainly showing it here tonight. Sean Bean goes off the track. He's lost traction. LGS will have better drive out of the corner. But at the same time, up ahead of them, they've reeled in one of the other drivers who's currently running in P8. That is the Danny Pearson, the Sauber. He was running P3, went off the track in the corner at turn 13. And that's thrown him off the track. But LGS got superb drive the hairpin.
He's going to go.
The inside. Sure, can he make it work? He's managed someone on the inside. There's no contact on the inside. Now there's only one-way traffic through here. One of these guys is going to have to yield. And it's LGS has gone off the track. But he's thinking of the inside, the slow corner. He's got the traction. Can he hold the line? He can.
What a move. What a move right there. That is such a difficult corner to get right. And now Connor's all over the back of Sean. Sean's got no DRS because he was in the lead at the detection point. Caterham's all over him as well.
At the same time, Caterham's hit the back of Conor Rice. He was almost going to the back of LGS.
That was
it's like
lucky.
An accident on the M62, but they managed to avoid the damage there.
Just a bit further back. I think that's tough as he's just overtaken the back marker. Just try.
Meanwhile, the Caterham that following behind is actually topping himself. This is a battle for the bottom end of the points, and we're following it because it's like the championship lead at the moment.
I know.
These guys are scrapping harder than ever.
Ice Cold Andy's got about 3.5 second lead at the front to Nige. Then there's a big queue of cars from about P3 to P7. And then you've got this train as well. It's absolutely fantastic driving from all of them. I haven't really seen too much bad driving
ahead. There's a 4-car train ahead of these guys. So let's cut away for the moment. We're sorry to break away the action, but we've got to give some more coverage to the guys up front here. So currently in P6 place, we've got Confused Emu in the sister Red Bull. He's following behind Robbo in the Ferrari. Is now very, very close indeed to the Force India of Jambo, and he's all over the back of XRL Lightning. These guys are very, very close indeed. There's 2 trains on track, and Yarnell Crew is not in the pilot seat.
I don't know who to be on board with at the moment. There's that much to it. Danny Pearce is dropping down, obviously going in the gravel, a lap ago. And then we're on board with Emu now in P6. This is a much smaller train.
Oh, Jambo's gone wide on the entry to that final corner that leads into the Panyang Straight. But Emu has got a better drive off the corner. Both guys have got DRS, so Robbo will just be able to hold him back. But the question is, will they be able to ruin Jambo? Jambo's got on the outside of Lightning down towards the final hairpin, but he's had to yield and try to cut back. He's trying to cut under the inside of it. Lightning moves to squeeze into the outside. There goes the DRS from Jambo. He's putting it inside. He's almost putting him in the wall. That was Webber and Vettel at Malaysia this season. That was very, very close to being a dangerous move. But Jambo goes on the inside, gets on the hammer brakes very, very late. Oh, but at the same time, Lightning's drifted wide, hit Jambo, knocks him onto the outside. Jambo's not giving up, and he's been hit over the bollard, spun his wheels up. That's going to make him vulnerable to both Emu and Robbo behind him.
A little bit too aggressive from Lightning there, in my opinion.
I agree. It looked like he was pushing it towards the pit wall. Very, very dangerous. And he's also all over the place on braking. Have these guys found their tyres go off? And now they're struggling to keep control as Emu's lost control as well. Out of turn 4, and that's bringing P7 into the mix as well. This is getting even closer. Up ahead, Jambo trying to get closer to the back of XRL line and going through the clear curve. Now, he might be thinking of an inside move down the inside of the hairpin here, but he's a bit too far behind to think about that. It'd be a very ambitious move, that indeed. Indeed, he's been patient and waiting. He's got his eye on sector 3. And at the same time, Robbo's getting poor traction off the corners now, so evidently his tyres are starting to give up. Going through the final in towards that very slow uphill corner from Jambo. Oh, a mistake from Lightning, got a little wide on entry. That's made him vulnerable down the back straight, but he's using his curse to pull away. There goes the DRS from Jambo, though, and that's going to be reeling him in like a very big fish indeed. And indeed, Lightning moves to the left. Jambo goes to the right on the outside. Oh, contact again. Lightning drifting wide. And Jambo's thinking about trying to go underneath him. There goes the DRS flap again. He's pulling into the inside, getting as much of that toe as possible. And Jambo's got to think about doing him on the outside. He pulls to the left. Can he get the car stopped in time for the first part of the chicane? He's pulled over. He's on the anchors. Oh, but Lightning's drifted wide once again, contacted him. Jambo's got on the pole, lit up his tyres, and Lightning once again forces him off to the inside, and Robbo's dived on the outside as a result of the contact. This is getting dangerous now.
Danny Pearce making an absolutely fantastic move on the Red Bull there, and I think that's Sean Bean, isn't it? So, well, no, it's Emu. Yeah, so that was a good move at turn 1. Just dived Danny inside. Emu gave him great space, but yes, Lightning being a little bit too much again.
Meanwhile, confused Emu's got better drive on the fast chicanes, heading towards clear curve. But then at the same time, Danny Pearce has managed to get more traction out of it. It's like Hulkenberg at Korea this season. It looks like he's got a poor entry, and then boom, he's off. So at the same time, up ahead, there's a very close battle. The 3 cars are drifting to that hairpin. And Robbo's trying to go the outside of Jambo. Jambo's had to back out. And as a result of that, that's brought Danny Pearce into the mix. We've got an 8-car train here. These guys are all battling very, very close indeed. Now Jambo trying to get on the inside towards the hairpin. Oh, he's gone wide, and that's going to make him very vulnerable indeed. Danny Pearce looking to light the tyres up as the lines are forming on those prime tyres after only 8 laps. Jambo seeing on the inside of Robbo, but he's just had to do it. And meanwhile, Lightning's dived into the pits. Lightning's blinked first. He's been followed by another car behind, but meanwhile, behind Jambo, we've got Danny Pearce defending like mad from Emu, who's gone up under the outside on the DRS.
Jambo's made
at the same time, Danny's got it as well.
Jambo's braked way too late there.
Yeah, Jambo's got very, very wide. Robbo snuck right underneath him as a result. Kept his place, but Danny Pearce has got to be careful to make sure he gets... And Emu's down on the inside from nowhere!
I wasn't even watching that one, but what a move again. There's some absolutely fantastic driving going on tonight.
Well, Jambo trying at the inside. He's got a bit too wide on turn 4, but he's got the power down. But what a sensational outside move from Robbo, chopping just across him. Oh, Jambo's thinking about the inside of the chicane. But Jambo's got the worst line here, and he's going to have to back out. He might try it on clear curve. Very literally meters between the pair of them. And again, having to back up, no real way through there. Not enough room, but down towards the hairpin now. He's got sensational drive at the corner. Jambo's going the long way around. He'll have to be very brave to make this stick. And the very respectful driving there as well from Robbo, giving him plenty of room. These guys have not contacted yet. There's literally meters between 3rd and 4th place as Robbo holds the high ground sector 3.
Emu's just watching this like a hawk, waiting for any mistakes.
And exactly, he's waiting for it to pounce,
here we go. Emu's having a look at Jambo.
The inside. There goes the DRS flap, but Jambo has it as well, so that gives him not the same edge. There's no advantage, and Emu's going to have to do it the hard way. Now, he might be thinking of maybe trying to use Robbo here as a way to make Jambo blink. Massive lock up there, and Emu's dived into the pits.
So has Danny Pearce in 7th.
So these guys on the prime tyres now have got to make these laps work, and they've got to make sure they hold these guys behind them up in order to be able to make this. DRS active by Jambo. He's got massive overspeed. Can he make it stop into the corner? He can for now, but what a sensational drive from Robbo. He's found traction on the inside, and he's got a better line to turn one, but Jambo lights up the rear tyres and takes third place for now.
Connor has got ahead of Danny Pearce in the pit stops. And we have a McLaren of LGS who's made his pit stop and got past all of them.
Robbo's just done a sensational move at the inside of Jambo, who made a mistake with Jambo trashed off the track to take the position back. These guys are really going out. There's a real dice on here, and he's being followed by the McLaren, which is being piloted tonight by Cesc Perez. Perez, running P5, has made a sensational climb in the rankings. Jambo's got through for the clear curve. The tyres on Robbo's car must have surely given up by now, and Perez is looking to size him up and very quickly take advantage.
Perez looking good for tomorrow night's GP2 race, then his pace is good.
His pace is very strong and solid. He's keeping up here. He's driving very strategically. And it's almost treating like a test session as Jambo goes very, very wide there at the start of sector 3. Robbo, meanwhile, is really losing time now. Those tyres are absolutely shot.
Oh, we have Jambo
made a massive mistake, gone very, very wide. And as a result, Perez is now probably figuring to lead in the power of them.
Perez, it's just two drivers of DRS. Robbo, is he going to leave it around the outside? Jambo commits early.
He's going into the pits.
You are right.
But Perez now has got sensational drive up the back of Jambo because of how close he was being run by Robbo. But both guys have got DRS, the advantage negated, pretty much. And as a result of that, Jambo's going to hold the high ground. Perez is probably thinking about a suicide lunge here. Expects to rob it into turn 1. But Jambo's locked up once again. He's really working those tyres very, very hard. And as a result, Perez just needs to be silky and smooth. But behind them, 4th and 5th place are very, very close. Lewis Hamilton is being chased very quickly by Sean Bean. Both guys on the prime tyres, battling really hard as well.
He's got everything going on today. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Back to Perez, he's closed the gap very, very much up ahead. And as a result, Jambo's got a little bit of better exit from the chicane now, but then gone wide towards the clear curve. So Perez has started to close this gap, and there is no car ahead of Jambo, so there's going to be no DRS negation here, so Perez has got to make this work. Down towards the hairpin, he's too far back to make a lunge there, and I think he's wise enough to know it's not worth it. Especially with the 2 DRS zones it'll get if he's careful. Jambo's snaking left and right, really pushing his car. And you say, these guys have only got 11 laps on these primes. You need to do a lot more than that, really.
17 is the rough number. A little bit earlier for some strategies, but, yeah.
Just give you a brief update on the leaders. They're separated by about 5 seconds.
Nige is doing a really good job to hold on, though.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, he's been struggling. He's doing well.
Well, Perez now, he's looking up to the inside of the hairpin. Oh, Jambo goes wide. There's lots of dust on his tyres. And as a result of that, Perez has saved none of his curves, so all he's got is the DRS, and that Jambo's got fantastic drive at the corner, and even with the DRS, Perez is struggling to close the gap.
He's just going to do so way too late. He's got much better entry into the hairpin, though.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Is getting the entry is fine, but at the same time, Jambo seems to get better traction off. And it's like Hamilton versus Hulkenberg, a career this season. Hamilton was all over the back of him on the entry, but as soon as he came to the start of the zone, woof, Hulkenberg's gone, and exactly the same thing's happening here.
Lewis Hamilton's dropped Sean Bean, and the first of these pit stoppers, XRL Lightning, is starting to close on the pair of them. He's actually got a few seconds gap because of the undercut on the likes of LGS and Enu.
That's only if they're only doing 2 stops compared to 3, though. Again, we don't know what the fastest strategy is here around Kuala Lumpur, so it's going to be difficult to know who has all the aces. Going back through the field, and say P6 Sean Bean, he's got quite a gap behind him.
I think we've got
XRL Lightning.
Robbo and Danny Pearce are quite close out on track at the moment. P9 and 10, no, P10 and 11, sorry, fighting for that last point.
Yeah, indeed. And these two have been at it all race so far, to be
yes,
honest.
they
so
have.
These two are probably enjoying it. Meanwhile, we've got a mistake up ahead. One of the cars, it's lagged on and back on the track again. Someone's lagging.
Well, I need to get there. Tubbs is in last, but it's not as if he's had a quiet race. It's like Connor's last. 14th, but
Danny Pearce now coming up into the DRS zone. He has DRS. But ahead of him, the Ferrari, which is being piloted by Robbo, is just pulling away, even without the DRS. So evidently the gearbox is not set up properly on Danny Pearce's car. Danny Pearce has gone the Red Bull approach, and it's fine if you're in the lead, or if you're not in the lead, it's absolutely horrible.
Perez eyeing up a move on Jambo again. He's a little bit closer this time, using a little bit of curves, but he's just not going to get it done.
Well, Emu is now close right up to the back of the McLaren being driven by XRL LGS, who's just behind Lightning. These three cars are getting very close to each other, and indeed Hamilton's not too far ahead of them either. So Sean Bean, is not too far ahead of these guys. So we've got another 4-car duel possibly coming up very shortly indeed. Emu looking at the inside side of turn 4 and has gone wide. He's gone off the track, and as a result, LGS has been able to pull away whilst he gets marbles all over his tyres. Sean Bean's under massive pressure now.
Yet to stop.
Lightning really closed him down.
He's yet to stop, whereas these guys have all got a fresh set of the prime tyres on. So
look at the drive difference there. But oh, Sean Bean's lagged in front of him again. XRL Lightning getting on the power as early as possible, using this fresh rubber to his advantage. He'll be looking to devour Sean Bean. And oh, contact nearly there. Sean Bean's really struggling on pace now, and it's caught Lightning out, and he's been caught as a result of that in 8th place by XRL LGS, who's taken full advantage and thinking about going round on the outside. Oh, a little bit of contact with the diffuser there from LGS. It's got to be careful it doesn't damage that car, or that will be a penalty. There goes the curse, there goes the DRS. LGS is
look out, LGS
in a straight line.
What a pass.
And he's thinking about the outside of Sean Bean. Oh, but at the same time, what a move by Lightning to take it back.
How did LGS go from making a place and possibly 2 to losing them both?
It just shows how close these guys are on pace. That's sensational. Free draft into first spot. It's going to be ended disaster, surely. And Lightning holds the high ground. LGS goes at the inside of Sean Bean, but he's just got in front of him. So while XRL Lightning's able to take full advantage, but they're side by side, coming around the long turn 3 towards turn 4, and LGS is holding on the outside. Oh, just again, and as a result, that Emu's gone past him on the inside, and Sean Bean at the same time. But LGS has got a better XRL at turn 4. They're free abreast now, puts off the fast chicane. There's only one way through here, guys. One he's got to lift. There's been a contact between LGS. He's been forced left off the track, but he's managed to get back to the track as well. And as a result of that, Robbo's got through in the Ferrari.
Whoa, Sean's lagging.
I think Sean's lagging. Sean's lagging very badly now. Emu very nearly spun off, and as a result, Danny Pearce is now taking LGS. LGS has gone from like P5 to P10 in one lap. I reckon there's going to be a few complaints after the race, though, about Sean Bean's car.
It's, for the majority, it's fine. Then when he just looks like he's going wide, and then he's not.
But now we've got 5 cars very close together indeed. Olivia has lost connection. He's gone. He's our first retirement.
Emu's got past Sean Bean, and now here goes Robbo.
He has. Robbo's followed him through. No DRS on Sean Bean. He's absolutely defenceless now. And Danny Pearce. Oh, wait, no, we're not lagging Emu now. Emu's somehow behind him. Right, I think we need to get a message to Sean. Unfortunately, this is just not cool.
Keep an eye on it. It's not as bad as some. But we'll keep an eye.
Danny Pearce made a sensational dive at the inside of both Sean Bean and Robbo. He's got a low line. Oh, and Emu's colliding with Sean Bean, as does LGS. This is absolute chaos. It's like a destruction derby race now between these 5.
Danny Pearce has just made an absolutely fantastic move on 2 drivers there.
He just split them like splits in the atom. It was fantastic. Emu looking at the inside of turn 4, but he's backed out of it. And as a result, LGS has now gotten closer with Robbo just ahead of Emu. And then ahead of them, we've got XRL Lightning in 6th place.
Sean Bean's tyres are gone. He needs to get into the pits because he can't keep up.
He can't keep up when he's chopping across people, he's causing accidents, and it's going to get him a lot of negative attention, which he doesn't need.
Jambo's going to make a move on the inside, and he does. He makes it stick. Not quite. Very tight here. Yeah, he's got it done. That's got to go down.
Well, meanwhile now, Robbo's got a lot of pace now. He's suddenly started getting very close to the back of Danny Pearce's Sauber as Danny Pearce takes too much of the inside curve and starts fishtailing and down into straight. There goes the DRS flat from Robbo. The overspeed is far too great and he's just going to power up the inside here, but he's got to be careful that he doesn't give DRS initiative back to Danny Pearce on the hairpin. And Danny Pearce is going a long way around, trying to retain position. Emu's followed him to get a superb tail flow. There was the flap on both cars. Emu and Danny Pearce are side by side. Robbo is the unfortunate filling in the sandwich as both guys take a load of slipstream. And he's Hakkinen and Schumacher once again splitting the car. Robbo keeps in 8th place at the moment while Danny Pearce goes to 7th place. On the inside, Emu's holding the line. Can he make it through? No, he can't.
Only now is it starting to calm down throughout the pack. But these three are still providing some absolutely fantastic action.
This is like watching a British touring car race. As Danny Pearce goes off the track, Robbo's got some better traction out of turn 4, and Emu now is following them both through the fast chicane. There's no real overtaking spot here as Danny Pearce once again goes wide. He's pushing so hard to keep these fast charging drivers behind him. Into the clear curve, and you can see there's a gap about half a second between Emu and Robbo, and then there's next to nothing between Robbo and Danny Pearce.
Emu's got all of his curves available to him still.
And don't forget, he's got LGS and Sean Bean behind, Jambo behind him, so this is now becoming a 5-car duel once again. These guys are all keeping us close to possible. It might have been a minor points, but who cares? It's sure as hell entertaining. So here comes Robbo, he's getting into the slow corner and he's better on the brakes than Danny Pearce. He's got more confidence in turning in and he's also saved a lot of his curves for this DRS straight. There goes the flap and he's being followed very quickly by Emu, who's also got the flap open too. Just a bit too far behind to get in the head. Meanwhile, overhead, we've had a couple of guys dive for the pits. Emu now is getting a very good drive behind Robbo because Robbo is not quite fast enough behind Danny Pearce.
5-second lag, he's got 5-second lag.
Oh, what frustration. Such a close race ruined by something completely arbitrary. Disgusting.
He's actually dropped behind LGS and Jambo by about 3 seconds as well.
Well, Emu is looking up the outside at turn 4 here of him, but he's thought better of it. But at the same time, Robbo's not got the traction on turn 4. Meanwhile, behind them, there's a proper scrap going on between 6 and 7. Jambo has gone on the outside of LGS around turn 4. But LGS has got the better line through the fast chicane. It's impossible to keep up here, viewers. We really don't know what's going on. You don't see this much action on TV normally. Up ahead, Emu has got the gap very close behind Robbo. He's gone very wide at the hairpin, made a big mistake. Jambo has therefore been dragged along with him, and so has LGS.
Just so equally matched. That's what it is.
Well, Jambo's thinking about going up the insides of the chicane. Emu chops across the block, and he weaves the other way. Jambo is putting immense pressure on Emu here, and Emu may be making a mistake. He has. He's gone wide at the corner, leading into the DRS zone. There goes the flat from Jambo, and also LGS has activated his. But at the same time, look at the gearbox speed from Emu. It's not getting any advantage. Down towards the hairpin, is it going to be last of the late breakers? No, Jambo thinks better of it. But over the inside now, trying to keep as close as possible, keep the traction down. There goes the flap on the DRS. And again, he's just not got the curves, but there comes the overflow. Bit more curves now, and he's dived up the outside. Can he get the car stopped into turn 1? We've seen a lot of them out breaking themselves here, including Jambo. Bit of a lock-up, but he's managed to make it stick. Emu now is under immense pressure from LGS, who's literally on the outside of him through turn 2. But has had to back out of it. But down towards turn 4, these two are going to be going at it very, very hard indeed.
Yeah, Phil, Danny Pearce, the only good thing he's got is a clear road now. Hopefully close back up, but you have to feel for him.
He can save his tyres too, because these guys are proper scrapping hard and really ruining the tyres. Overhead, Emu now is getting close to the back of Gambo. It's gone off the track again. They're all pushing an absolute all-out attack here, and they're going off the track, kicking up the dust and throwing out the tyres as much as possible, and we're all loving it. A mistake from LGS, got a bit wide at the hairpin, and that's ruined this chase here behind Emu and Jambo and Robbo. These guys are all very, very close indeed, though. It's really, really like a seesaw effect. flip a coin, it could land on any edge, and they're going to win.
Tubbs has just overtaken Perez with P9, and Lewis Hamilton's not far off either. Connor Eyes is in P12, I think. Or is that Sean? It might be Sean. But Tubbs has gone into the gravel and has lost both positions over Lewis Hamilton and Perez. This battle's everywhere.
Overhead Jambo started to close on Robbo in the DRS zone, but he's outbraked himself in the final corner. That's ruined his traction, and if anything, it might make him vulnerable from EMU and XRL LGS. LGS, though, is getting very, very close to the back of EMU. As Jambo makes a move, he goes to the outside, down towards turn 1, and he's blasted past. But can he get the car stopped? A little bit of a lock-up once again. He's really burning those tyres out here, Jambo, doing all he can to impress his teammate who's out in front of the race at the moment. But these guys, once again, all filtering into position. This is fantastic to watch. Very little activity on the streams. I'm guessing everyone's just so riveted to the action, no one's saying anything.
Robbo's going slightly deep. He's got a better drive out, and now he's going to have a look. But the problem is, go around these corners here, this quick chicane. Everyone's getting turbulent, and they're having to go a lot slower. Emu's just, he's on the gravel.
Emu was closing, he closed very quickly, and then what he did, lost all traction and grip, and as a result, understeered off, and LGS is now right behind him as a result.
See, I want to go get a drink, but you can't do it.
Why does Tilcar always put tracks with loads of fast gains? Just take them out, put loads of long straights and hairpins, and get everyone battling side by side like the old days.
Definitely.
Now, in the meantime, we've got LGS getting very close to the back now of EMU, and he's not too far away from Jambo. I say, it's hard for us to cut away from these guys because they're all being so entertaining to watch. And EMU's got better drive at the corner from LGS, and as a result, it's started to close down onto the back of Robbo. Robbo's got a very good gearbox on that Ferrari, and even without the DRS, they're not finding it easy to close the gap. EMU saved a little touch of Kerr's little splash, just to push him forward a little bit, trying to get as close as possible to Robbo, and drag himself away from LGS, as well as right behind him and closing very, very quickly. EMU's a few 2 yards back, he can't go for a move here, surely not. Indeed, he backs out of it at the right time, trying to save his tyres. We've still got 36 laps to go, viewers, so plenty for you to all keep watching.
Indeed, yeah, you're right. We want to get off these guys and possibly show the battle of three that are fighting for the final few points, but we just can't. These guys just won't let each other go. Robbo's gone deep.
Gone wide at turn 4. Emu's got a sensational drive, but once again, Robbo's just able to get the car parked right in the middle of the track. And as a result, he's unable to get past Emu. Emu therefore pushing on, trying to get through and down towards the clear curve. Again, one of those fast chicanes, fast hairpin corners where you can't really close the gap. Too much turbulent air here. But now he's back thinking about it down towards this slow uphill hairpin, but he's just too far back to make the move now. Emu's definitely saving his time towards sector 3. But meanwhile, LGS maybe making a move on the outside of Emu. These guys are very close, and LGS backs out at the last possible instance. Now LGS is actually the one that Emu's got to worry about because he's not as close to Robbo on this lap at the moment, but we've seen him get better traction off this corner into the DRS zone as LGS goes a little wide to give Emu a bit of breathing space. There goes the flat from Emu, and now he's much closer to Robbo, but up ahead there's a scrap going
Jambo and Lightning. It's Jambo and Lightning. Lightning holds on. These two continuing their battle from early on. We've got a McLaren down in the pit.
No, it was Lightning. Lightning's dived into the pits now. And as a result, Robbo has got Emu very close to him. Emu's dived up the inside. He's got a bit of grass on the tyres as Robbo, and he just can't defend at the moment. And Emu is through at the moment, but Robbo's not giving up. He's going on the outside line, hoping to find the back entrance turn 2. But a superb piece of driving from Emu. Put the car in the right position to hold position and keep the lead for now.
Right. So now, let's have a quick look at what's gone on. Right, Andy is in the lead. His quickest lap is 7/10 quicker than Nigel's. So this stint, he's just pulled out a little bit further. Jambo is at the lead of this massive battle. Emu, Robbo, LGS, Danny Pearce hopefully will try and get back. Lewis Hamilton, Perez and Tuppers are in a battle of 3. Lightning is pitted, but he doesn't seem to have the tyre wear in that Mercedes and is having to pit a few laps earlier. He does get in that little undercut, but he has to pit earlier. Will he get to the end? Connor in P12 and at the back, Sean Bean, my teammate, it's only good practice for him. It's fantastic practice for him for tomorrow night, and that's what it is. But anyway, let's get back out onto the track, and, well, Andy's got about an 8-second lead, I would say. Maybe slightly more. But we're going to go a bit further back this time. We're going to try and get on this battle for 9th, 10th, and 11th, if it's a big enough battle. No, it's not. They're sort of broken up a bit now. Tuppers in P10.
Well, LGS and Emu and Robbo are still very close together. In fact, Emu has got on the inside of Robbo and taken the position on the last lap. Robbo's got the DRS to try and close the gap down, and Jambo is starting to fall into Emu's clutches. So once again, we're getting the train starting to form here as Robbo hits the curves and the DRS to try and close the gap on Emu. But now that Emu's been freed up from behind that Ferrari, he's starting to pound the pace a bit more, and he's starting to pull away.
Danny Pierce just can't close that gap since that lag.
That lag's probably ruined his confidence, Vic, so you're not sure what to do when you get that kind of thing in this variable affecting your pace. But as I say, these 4 cars, they are close together, but they're not as close as they have been. There is a little break in the action for now. I don't think it'll last long.
Well, Lightning's about to make a move on Tuppers, I think, for P9. So we'll try and get back there. Or P10, sorry, P10. Lightning obviously on his fresh set of tyres and is really starting to close the gap on Tuppers now.
It's turn 4 and he's just a little too far behind to make the move here. I mean, Tuppers is fighting for the lower end of the points. That's one of the aims he did say for this season while he gets himself up to speed. But his driving pace hasn't been bad at all. It just shows how close the field is. And if you get caught in the wrong scrap or taken off, your race is completely ruined. Well,
that's just lap 1 all over. That first corner, that's the only negative of this race. He just lost control. He got spun off at turn 2. And that's
finding his time on the outside of the hairpin, sorry to cut across you, and he's managed to find the traction, but he's been contact up the hill towards the start of sector 3, and he's just managed to force his way through.
Yeah.
And now the question is, will Tuppers be able to be close enough to get back at him under DRS? I mean, they're both separated by paperweights at the moment. There's nothing between them. And getting on the power nice and gentle there, Tuppers, into the DRS zone. There goes the flap. Now, he's not been the king of getting good gearbox setups as Tuppers, so this might make it possible for him to blast straight back by. Not at this corner, but there is the second zone. He's just not had the confidence to get the power down.
No.
So it's costing him vital tenths, and Lightning can breathe a little easier. He's managed to make the move stick. Well done. There's a bit of a rumour going around about drivers from Mercedes helping each other out with setups. They're a team. What do you expect them to do?
Well,
meanwhile, in 8th place, Lewis Hamilton has got right to the back of Danny Pierce. These two are very, very close indeed. Into turn 4, Lewis Hamilton thinking about going up the outside. Backs out of it at the last moment, though. Realises there's just no way through there. Well, Lewis Hamilton's got a bit of problem through that fast chicane.
Yeah,
he's got to get on the gas a lot earlier than most people.
He was off the gas for quite a long time as well.
Trying to roll it through the corners and try and pick up speed that way, trying to avoid scrubbing the speed off the car. Well, meanwhile, a mistake for Danny Pierce, gone wide at the hairpin, and as a result, Lewis Hamilton's now a lot closer as we start sector 3. And this is where you've got to be absolutely priceless through these fast corners to get the gap for DRS, otherwise you are a sitting duck. And Hamilton is stuck with the back of Danny Pierce, and in fact he's closing very quickly under the slipstream. He's thinking about the inside of the corner. Surely he can't make a move here. He's going to give it a go. This is going to be very, very close. And look at how close they are for the DRS zone. There goes the flat. There goes the curves. And Lewis Hamilton's surely going to make this stick. But Danny Pierce is not giving up. And he's going to have the better downforce into the corner, not having to close the flat. Now the question is, has Danny Pierce got the DRS to get back at him? I think he may have. He does. So there goes the flat from Danny Pierce. Can he close the gap? And the answer to that question is no. What a superb driving from Hamilton. But on the inside of the first of the 2 chicanes, he's just able to get the gap closed down, Danny Pierce. And as a result, down to P7. LGS just going through the pits there. Well, in the meantime now, we're sticking with this little scrap between these two. They're both at it really, really quickly as Danny Pierce has started to fall back from Hamilton. So Hamilton now, with a little bit of clear air, has started to pull away and get the hammer down while the time is ready.
did.
Up ahead, that scrap that was 3 cars has gone down to do because LGS has gone
LGS is pitted, yeah.
And EMU's about a second and a half clear of Robbo in 4th and 5th place respectively. Well, finally the action starts to cool down. We can get our breath for a little moment. I'll say that now, and there's going to be another Titanic duel shortly. But up ahead, Ice Cold Andy has opened up a big lead on Nige all of a sudden. There's about 9 seconds at least between them. So Nige playing the long game like Fernando Alonso, just trying to get the maximum points he can from the car, just while it's not quite there. So the wise driving, but he's got to find some pace if he wants to defend that title. Meanwhile, we've got a duel between XRL Lightning and S. Perez, 8th and 9th respectively. Lightning's got the DRS on the back of the McLaren driver, but the McLaren driver's got the advantage of the medium compound. So that gives him a little better traction, but at the same time faster wear under DRS into turn 1, just a bit too far back, Lightning. But he seems to have better comfort in the car and gets the toe point a lot easier. And Perez has gone wide at turn 2, so Lightning's thinking about out-dragging him round the outside to turn 3. There's contact on the outside of the corner, but at the same time, Lightning holds the high ground. Now Perez might be thinking about a lunge up the inside of turn 4, just backs out of it, realising it's just too far gone. Tuppers in 10th place is being chased down very quickly by XRL LGS. So this is going to be probably a quick fight, this, because Tuppers has not found it easy to keep the pace in the car, has he?
No, definitely not. Since that early mistake, he's always just been behind. I think he could be
LGS
there.
has just drove around the outside of him, literally. Just literally drove past him.
Oh, he's gone very deep. But somehow has made kept the move. Fair play. Just seems to be struggling to keep that, to get the power down.
I think he might be trying to do a long game. But meanwhile, up ahead, there's a titanic scrap between XRL Lightning and Danny Pierce into the DRS zone. XRL Lightning has got the DRS and goes through in zone 1, but Danny Pierce is keeping close, and he will get the DRS to go back. So into the hairpin. Oh, Danny Pierce has dived wide, and indeed he's dived into the pits, actually. So that's freed up XRL Lightning, but Perez is behind him, and he's now got to try and close the gap. Ahead of them in the pits as well, we also have in
Robbo.
this box, Robbo, yes, Robbo's down into the pits as well. Perez now is P7, chasing down XRL Lightning in P6. Bit of action at the end of the pit lane there as rejoins the track. There's a bit of contact, but it looks like he's made it through. That was Tuppers in 9th, who's just managed to come out ahead of Robbo. So Robbo's come out behind the slow driving Tuppers, and that will be hampering his race pace, because in this sector of the lap there's very little overtaking spaces. But Tuppers goes a little wide as Sean B's retired.
He drove into the pits. But yeah, it's just been a testing section for Sean B, really, in all fairness.
But meanwhile, at the same time, you did see the Robbo just drive clear around the outside of Tuppers. Tuppers really needs the pit now. He's just falling completely back down the field, and it's just like a travesty to watch. Hamilton's running P5 though, his teammate, as Emu runs P4. A strong recovery drive from Emu after that incident on the first lap. And Jambo doing very well, retaining his position in 3rd place on pure pace alone. And if we go through the fastest laps for a moment, we've got a little lull in the action. We've got Mr. Ice Cold Andy on a 1:38.2, followed by F1 Nigel on 1:38.9. These guys are clearly ahead of everyone else. But Jambo's not too far behind on a 1:39.1. Emu showing that consistency matters more than pace on a 1:39.7, while we have XRL Lewis Hamilton on a 1:39.0, which is very, very rapid indeed. 1:39.2 from XRL Lightning, a 39.6 from Perez, but LGS 469, a 1:38.5. That's almost at the same pace as Ice Cold Andy. That shows you what he's capable of. And then also Robbo 1:39.7, and then rounding off the top time we got Tuppers on a 1:40.0. Massive difference in pace.
Right, well, let's get back out. I'm going to get a quick drink, as there is a bit of a lull in the action. It's the first time tonight. It's been absolutely... I think it's been the best race I've ever commentated on with you, Swish. I haven't seen anything better.
One of the better ones. possibly Singapore last season, maybe.
That's up there.
In fact, there's a question for the streamers. What other races have been as good as this one? Answer on a postcard.
Right, I'm going to leave it on. Whoever this guy's in 5th. Lewis Hamilton, he's got himself up to 5th. He will be pitting reasonably soon.
If I was you, I'd leave it on XRL LGS because he's lighting the time field shields a light at the moment.
He's got his teammate just in front of him, hasn't he?
He has indeed. He's got Perez just ahead of him and he's running the option tyres, whereas LGS is on the primes. So therefore he's got the grip advantage as Perez goes wide on the outside of the corner as LGS knocks the bollard off, going up the inside to the DRS state. There goes the flap and there goes the curves a bit, and Perez has probably just let him through there, got completely out of his way. As way up into P7 and starts to chase down 6th place, which is none other than XRL Lightning in the Mercedes. Looks like all you people out there can't think of a race that's as good as Singapore and Malaysia last season. Come on, there's got to be at least one. So Emu's come out in 8th place after a pit stop. He comes out behind Robbo in 7th place. And then we've also got LGS who's started to close up the gap. But not a bad call. So Robbo's now being chased by Emu. There's about half a second between them. On the stream, Sao Paulo last season, end of season with Nigel and Andy. I actually didn't see that race because I was in Japan when it happened, so I missed that one. So I really don't know what that one is. If someone's got the archive, I'll have to check that out at some point. So we've got the aforementioned Singapore from last season. That was a cracker, as was this race at Malaysia. Another one that was one of my personal choices as well, of course, was last season's Spa race, when you had Emu out in front in the rain, and then we had that sensational last lap change. We'll keep it, speaking of Emu, he's in 8th place now, but he's starting to really close up and behind a Robbo, going through the hairpin at the end of sector 2, and there's maybe half a second to a second between these guys. If Emu can just get the pace down, oh, he's gone completely off the inside there. All 4 tyres totally off here on lap 28. Totally misjudged that, and he's not really gaining any advantage, but you've got to stick to the track limits. Now, meantime, there goes the bit of curse from Emu, and he's not got the DRS on this lap, so Robbo can breathe a sigh of relief for now, but it's a question of how quickly that's going to come down into the final hairpin corner, as that gap has dropped slightly, maybe by half a tenth, so it's not enough to be too significant at this moment. Or maybe it has. DRS is now activated from Emu. He's really found some pace there. Didn't look like it on my screen. I'm sorry for all you people out there who are listening to this like a radio commentary, but I can't switch the stream, I'm afraid. And into turn 1, he's just too far behind Robbo to make the move stick. But he's looking to go onto the outside to get the inside line for turn 2. And he's just missed that. So Emu now is maybe 3 tenths behind Robbo in 8th and 7th place respectively. This is very close indeed.
The thing is,
Emu figure out being on the inside of turn 4, but it's backed out.
These guys are top drivers and they're fighting for 7th and 8th. It's ridiculous how competitive the league is at the moment.
Well, in the meantime, Emu's had the same problems before. He's caught right up behind in the fast chicane. He's having to short shift to get the traction down, and then it's going off through clear curve, and it's just hampering him so much because it's taking away all the downforce and it's ruining his tyres. Have to back off. So going into down into the chicane, which would be a fantastic overtaking space if they didn't discourage drivers following each other. Well, needless to say, into sector 3, there's maybe half a second between these guys now. While you were away, Bernie, by the way, one of the suggestions on the stream for a great race was last year's Sao Paulo race, which I missed because I was on holiday.
Oh, God. I've got to think about that. It is available on YouTube, that race, so I might have a quick little pick of that.
Well, DRS open from Emu at the first zone. He's too far away, really, to think about a pass down into the final hairpin, but that will mean he gets the second shot of DRS on the next straight, and he might well do enough, particularly if Robbo keeps locking up like that. That's ruining his tyres. There goes the DRS, and there goes the curse, as he really starts to reel in Robbo now. Very, very fast indeed. There goes the overspeed. He's going into the inside line for turn 1. Can he get the anchors braked onto the inside and hold the high ground? He's got very close to the apex. Robbo's going the long way round, and Robbo's filtered in behind him, so a great overtake from Emu. But Robbo's sticking right with him. These two are going to be literally like a touring car race. Okay, lap 1, I overtake you. Lap 2, you overtake me. That's pretty much what it's like at the moment. We're past the halfway point now. 26 laps left to go here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, as the track is really showing great grip, and it's not showing too high wear either, surprisingly. So the guys are really pushing, really working hard to try and make this move on. Now Emu's trying to get the hammer down to try and break the DRS toe, but Robbo's not letting him out of his sight. He's keeping it very close, and Robbo's retained all his curves. Now that's very intelligent, because ultimately with the length of the straights here with DRS, the extra 80 horsepower is absolutely invaluable.
A little bit too far away though. I think he might need to keep him for the second straight. Just ease up with DRS on this one and then give it a go. But again, not such a good drive out of that corner, and Emu's got away a little bit.
Yeah, he has. Meanwhile, up ahead, someone's dived into the pits. Was that one of the leaders? Let's find out. So we've got Emu now moving fast ahead, trying to break the gap from Robbo. Robbo's going to have the DRS back to him now as LGS goes through into 5th place. In the pits is Jambo. Jambo's gone into the pits, and he's going to come out maybe 3 seconds behind these guys, so he could be right to the back of this crew. And we've seen what these three have been like driving against each other so far today. This could be more controlled chaos here.
Yeah, Jambo's not too far away, but the fresh tyres he's going to benefit from very shortly, so...
Exactly, he's going to be able to close that gap and get really near to him as a result. Well, meanwhile, look at Robbo. He's really trying to get the power down for his sector 1, try and close that gap to Emu, and try and get the DRS activated again. I'd say there's about 6 seconds maybe between Robbo and between Jambo. So these guys are not far apart at all. Emu's gone wide through clear curve. He's gone off in the first part and then the exit as well. He's really hanging his back end over the ragged edge at the moment. And Robbo's seeing that and thinking, you're going to make a mistake once time soon, sunshine, and I'm going to have you. And indeed, Robbo's sticking very, very close to him, coming down towards for sector 3 now. Emu once again goes over the inside, all 4 wheels off the track. You have to respect the track limits. You can't keep doing that. You will get a penalty. So here we go, curves activated now by Robbo. Not a great drive off the corner though, and once again, much like Hulkenberg versus Hamilton at Korea, Emu's just able to pull away. And up ahead of them, we've actually got
a little battle, yeah.
Just seen on the track map, and in
LGS
now,
Lightning.
Yeah, and LGS has got the DRS, so he's going to be closing the gap very quickly on Lightning. A 1:38.3 from LGS.
He is
That's
flying.
A very fast lap indeed. He's showing if he hadn't disconnected, he would have been right near the front of the grid. What a shame. What an absolute shame. LGS has closed the gap very, very quickly now on XRL Lightning. Going down towards turn 4, he's just got mountains of pace on these prime tyres. He's really liking the setup to the car. A bit of a lock up there from XRL Lightning, and he's driven a bit wide as well. So as a result, LGS has got the flow, and he's trying to stick as wide as possible. Intelligent driving this, because he's trying to avoid the dirty air, and he's deflecting half it away from the car as Lightning goes wide, leading in towards the clear curve. And both guys take that absolutely beautifully, clipping the inside curves, and they head now down towards it's very, very tight uphill hairpin. You can make passes over here if you're very, very fast, but LGS is just not quick enough at the moment. Into sector 3, this fast flowing corner, another lock up, and again, now Lightning's gone on 4 wheels off the inside. What is with people taking that corner all 4 wheels off? I don't get it. Lightning made a mistake on the braking there towards the end of the DRS zone, but LGS has not been able to get the power down, as goes the DRS flat, but he's got plenty of pace here, and the overrun is good, but a bit of a jump around from Lightning. We've not got lag now, please no, please don't let that happen. Both guys turning in, and Lightning's chopped right across him on the hairpin. There's been contact, no damage to the cars fortunately, and LGS has stuck right with him to get better drive off the corner. So there with the DRS, but he's only just edging out in front. He's on the outside. He's going to have the worst line in turn 1. And he's had to back out and yield, but Lightning's gone wide too deep. LGS has called his bluff and taken a fantastic 3rd place. Meanwhile, Lightning is stuck with LGS. This is the closest battle on the track so far, but we've got 3 more cars catching up, and if these two keep on changing positions, well, we're going to see even more cars forming in the train, aren't we? So Lightning now, taking it into the clear curve, trying to follow LGS. LGS has really got the hammer down though now. To try and get that gap more than 1 second. That's what you have to do. It's so priceless here. And as people have been saying on the stream, you can try and do it to gain or break DRS detection. I don't like that kind of gamesmanship, and that's why I want DRS removed. Having DRS shouldn't be even involved, because that way it's one less variable to worry about. I might be on my own here, but I actually personally don't like DRS.
I think it's just that in F1 at this stage in time, very difficult to overtake, so there does need to be an aid, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, LGS has made a big mistake in the final pattern going towards the first DRS zone. As a result, Lightning has kept close, and he's done this absolutely masterfully, because he's got the extra pace now. LGS has gone wide on the exit, so Lightning has better drive, and now he's got the DRS for the second shot. But once he's got into his higher gears, LGS, he's just able to shoot along. It's like he's got low traction in the low revs, and then boom, he's off like a rocket, almost like traction control. And as a result of that, he's managed to keep Lightning behind him. Impressive defensive driving. And through this, of course, Lightning is now being tailgated very closely by a confused Emu, who's now caught right up to the back of the pair of them. It's now a 3-car duel.
He's done well to drop Robbo, you know.
He has, yeah. He's obviously got the pace now that he's got some clear air. And Emu's not going to be happy. Lightning's gone wide, and Emu's thought, I'm going to gobble you up here and now. But he's had to back out of it at the last moment. Emu's all over the back of Lightning's gearbox, and as a result, LGS is pulling away because the pressure's starting to toll on Lightning. Both drivers go wide, and Emu's had to back out. The gas has gone so wide. So he's let him off the hook through the clear curve.
Battle is going to be joined again, isn't it? Very, very shortly. You can just tell all these drivers are starting to bunch up. It's going to start all over again. Jambo's looking good in P7.
But in the meantime, Emu's gone a little wide at the corner at the start of Sector 3, and he's fallen a little back from these two, but not too far, so these two, they're all going to be dragging each other along, I fear. Bit of a lock-up once again from Lightning, and he's gone too far to the inside, and he's broken his wing!
Just an end plate.
He's hit the inside bollard, and it's ripped off the end plates, and Emu's gone, okay, thanks very much. But now the problem is, Emu has crossed the detection line, and LGS has dived straight into the pits, chopped rockets across him, almost sideswiped him as he did it. Very dangerous, but managed to get away with it. Meanwhile, at the same time now, behind him, Jambo was close well to the back of Robbo. There goes the DRS, pulls out and into turn 1, and that move is done and dusted. So long as you can get the power down and stop very quickly, Robbo's following round, not letting him get away. But Jambo holds position for now, and he's got his eyes on Emu and LGS.
Now, has Lightning pitted because that's a mandatory stop, or has he pitted because of that end plate?
Probably a bit of both, really. He's seen the pressure he's under from Emu, so rather than burn out his tyres, rather than risk running himself off the road, get in, fresh wing, fresh pair of boots, pair of primes will get to the end of the race easily from here. So he needs to know exactly what he's doing. But Robbo now is causing right to the back of Jambo again. Evidently, Robbo's got a better setup for Sector 2, and that makes it he can push these cars along into making mistakes at the end of these parts. And there's 4 cars now, less than 2 seconds apart. So, viewers, has anyone been keeping a track of how many overtakes we've had? I'm sure as hell not.
No, I've written a few down for overtaking the week next week, but oh my god, there's going to be a lot on the short list, that's for sure.
Well, I'd say if you're watching this from the lower divisions, this is the benchmark you've got to follow as Jambo hits the inside pollard, and as a result, it's a slow exit. Robbo gets the DRS open, and ahead of them, Emu is now close, very close to the back of LGS by the looks of it. And in fact, he might be thinking about having a go at the inside, but he's just too far behind at this moment. But you will have DRS now down towards turn 1. There goes the flap, and he got sensational drive at the corner, Emu. Coming up behind now, he's hit the curves to push himself along a little closer. LGS commits to the inside line. Emu's thinking about cutting back here, but LGS is a little smarter than that. And blocks the middle of the track through sector turns 1 and 2. Beautiful defensive driving. If you want to know what it's like to hold a car up, this is how to do it.
Don't think he's going to be able to hold him up much longer. Is he going to hold down the inside here? No.
It looks like he's just had to back out so far. You can make it if you get in the right position, but it's so difficult to do in this game. But in the meantime, Emu now is keeping him very much honest. LGS has suddenly got more defensive. Emu has done a 1:37.8 as his fastest lap. LGS a 138.3. Emu has suddenly found bucket loads of pace. So here we go down into the hairpin, and once again Emu's having to brake even earlier than normal because he's just got much more confidence in the car going into the turn than LGS. LGS maybe getting to the end of his tyre life into the start of sector 3. Both drivers keeping it nice and smooth, using as much of the extra runoff there as possible in order to keep it legal. Oh, and Emu's doing it again, almost spun the car. He changed his gears on the curb. Dangerous thing to do, but it just goes wide, and as a result, Emu's very, very close to the DRS zone. There goes the flap and the curves, and he started to close the gap up, but LGS's gearbox is just holding him honest. Up the inside, they've crossed the line. I think Emu might have just been behind LGS there, so might actually keep the DRS to pull away. No, he's not. LGS has masterfully choreographed it, and up the inside, these guys take each other back. This is sensational driving, but Emu might think about trying to do a last of the late breakers move here into turn 1. LGS goes a little wide. Emu commits to the inside, but that's going to put him on the outside for turn 2, and LGS just holds position, but then goes wide at the edge of turn 2 as well, so it's side by side down towards turn 4. Emu's got much better traction, deploying the curve strategically to pull away.
Look,
and that's a sensational overtake.
Emu, that was fantastic.
And Jambo's all over the back of LGS now as well. So these three are ball joined. Jambo's looking at the inside into the fast chicane, and he's on the inside line. Can he get a switch back on the outside? He can! Sensational overtake. You got some words on that one, eh, Dan?
Yeah. I can't believe how LGS just seemed to get such a poor drive when he was behind Emu at the start of that corner, and always run wide again.
And that means Robbo's now closing into the back of him. LGS is going backwards through the field as Jambo starts to close up on the back of Emu. All of a sudden, these guys are seesawing around. It's like a pendulum swinging this way and that. This is a sensational drive from all four drivers here. LGS has lost at least 2 seconds on Jambo in literally 4 corners. And behind it, Robbo's going to have much better drive off the corner, and he's going to have the DRS here, so I think we're going to see Robbo on the inside, commits to the inside line. Very good driving. Can he get brakes on the anchors? No, he's possibly got a little wide there. Just about managed to get the car with traction, but as LGS has stayed out, and he's going to have the DRS to try and get him back under braking for turn 1. LGS gets plenty of slipstream here, and which way is he going to go? He commits to the outside. Robbo keeps on the out, forces him as wide as possible, and he plays the same trick that LGS has done on everybody else. But Robbo's made a mistake in turn 2. There's been contact between LGS and Robbo down towards turn 4, but Robbo's just holding the high ground here to keep that 5th place. And LGS thinking about the inside of turn 4 as Robbo makes another mistake, goes a little wide, and LGS has deployed some curves to get as close as possible through this fast chicane, but the understeer will be absolutely horrible here. But he still manages to stick very close to him, but he's gone wide as a result of the turbulent air, and over ahead of them, Jambo is now all over the back of the confused Emu. Jambo into the hairpin now. He's getting very, very close to the back of Emu, had to back out. Meanwhile, Robbo was close right up to the back and got through.
We've got to think about Lewis Hamilton just on the back of these two now. Is it? Yep, it's Lewis Hamilton in P7. He's done a 37.5 as his fastest lap, and he's just eyeing up LGS and Robbo right here. And fantastic drive, mate.
It is a sensational strategic driving, and DRS is available to Jambo, so he's going to have it in the second part of the race here, going down into the second zone, as Emu's going to have to think about being defensive here to hold on to this 3rd place. There goes the flat from Jambo, but Emu once again just able to get the revs out of the car, but Jambo's closing very, very fast, and he commits. Oh, Emu changes direction at the last possible second, and Jambo really rear-ends him as a result, following the same line. Emu holding his line whatever cost him. Meanwhile, what's going on behind? There's about 4
crazy.
cars
Lewis Hamilton has gone from 7th.
Done the pair of them.
Yep, he's gone 7th to 5th. I've just been on board with this one, and that is he's driven away with it. He's gone away from these two straight away.
But Robbo now is going very wide at turn 4, and LGS is sticking with him as a result. LGS is not giving up despite the age of those tyres. He will not surrender without a fight. Right then, viewers, pick a battle. LGS versus Robbo or Emu versus Jumbo, because we can't follow both. Up ahead, Hamilton in 5th place. He's looking at the back of these two, but up ahead of them, Jumbo now in 4th position, and he's close quite quickly to the back of Emu. There's about half a second between these two now, and again, he's getting just a bit close to the ragged edge, so in the braking zone, and Emu seems to just get a better drive on that final corner. Jumbo's car seems to snake and fishtail a lot, but he's still got the DRS, and therefore, as a result, we're moving now towards that final hairpin. Emu's weaved as much of the track as possible. Jumbo gets on the brakes, and he's trying to be as smooth as he can, get as good as exit as possible, but again, he's slipstream and fishtailed a touch. There goes the DRS flat from Jumbo down towards turn 1. We're on lap 40 of 56. There's 16 laps to go. Jumbo's got the overrun on DRS, and he's going to try last of the late breakers on the inside. Emu see him, is trying to squeeze into the inside apex. Jumbo's committed to the outside for turn 2.
And he's got round.
He just gets on the outside.
What a move.
But now Emu, of course, he's had the faster pace, so he's closed up very quickly on the back of Jumbo. This really is a touring car race at Brands Hatchness at the moment, rather than an F1 race at Malaysia. Going around turn 4, Emu's got a smoother exit into the fast chicanes. Intelligent driving here would be to back off and not have your downforce affected, and Emu's done exactly that to maintain the gap into clear curve. As Jumbo goes wide at clear curve as well, so he's going to have a slower exit down towards the hairpin. Now, is Emu going to think about trying to get past now? Surely not. He's just a bit too far back for that. With the double DRS, he's actually gone wide. A mistake from Emu has let Jumbo off the hook a little bit here.
Yeah, it's given him a bit of breathing space. I'll still say that Emu's in that DRS window, but just made that a little bit harder to make the move. So we've got a four-way battle. P9, I reckon, I think. I know we've got Jumbo, but...
Let's find out. Let's carry on.
I think
because that's the last of the podium positions. We'll cut back to that. But in the meantime, heading back through the field, in 7th place, Danny Pierce, he's going smack at the end of the tail. XRL Lightning's on his own. And then 9th place, we've got Tuppers, who's being followed very, very closely by LGS 469, who's come up the pits. And then in 11th place, we've got Perez, who's close at the back of LGS. LGS fought back going to the inside of Tuppers at the start of the DRS zone. And there goes the Cures, and he's saved all of it. DRS open from LGS. And he should be able to blast past here. But the question is, will Tuppers get the DRS? No, he won't, because LGS was behind at the DRS line, so LGS is just going to literally drive right past him here.
DRS line is at halfway round the corner, not at the end of the straight, by the way, so Tuppers has actually got DRS.
Oh, well, someone's coming out of the pits. Who's that? Who's coming out of the pits?
That's a Ferrari, that's Robbo, so he's literally fallen behind LGS. But he's ahead of Perez, so as long as he can get past Tuppers reasonably quick, he won't lose too much.
Well, Perez, meanwhile, is keeping him pretty honest at the bottom end of the points. So these guys have got to be careful that they don't burn the tyres out, because this is literally the last stop of the race. You've got to make these tyres last. And if the tyres fall off the cliff quickly here, it's a very, very long lap to be driving around with tyres off the cliff. Up ahead on the horizon, no clouds threatening the race. This is as close to a clear dry race as possible, and it's been fantastic driving action all the way. Superb driving from everybody. LGS up into 8th place now. He's got a little bit of a gap, and he's got XRL Lightning about 7 seconds ahead of him. Danny Pierce is going to enter sector 3. He's totally on his own. Lewis Hamilton's closing up to the back now of Emu, who's fallen back a little bit from Jumbo in 3rd place.
I'll put it to you.
And indeed, he's actually out of the DRS zone.
I'll put it to you. Obviously, Nige and Andy have got the top 2 places. But who is going to get 3rd? We've got Emu, we've got Hamilton, we've got Jam, we've got LGS, we've got Lightning possibly. Which one of those would you see getting that 3rd place spot, guys?
I see Emu. Emu's just capable of bringing that pace out when he needs it. And he's also shown real class in defensive driving. But it's a question of when everybody pits. The good thing for Emu and Jumbo, and also for Hamilton, is that they're going to pit right near the end of the race. So they've got less laps to use them, and therefore can properly burn them out. But meanwhile, Hamilton's gone totally off the track. In P5, he's gone completely off. Lost at least 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's right.
Emu now he's literally fallen totally off the track. I don't know what happened. Emu now has about 2 seconds of drift of Jambo. There's not long left in this race for these two. Only 14 laps to go. But on the stream, it's split between Jambo and Emu, but at the same time, Turtle Roberts is saying, I said Jambo, I said Robbo. Well,
Robbo made a move on. Robbo's just made a move on Tuppers over the last couple of laps and is about 3 seconds behind LGS. So he's got to find a bit of time to get past LGS and then hope that they've got enough of an undercut on Emu and Jambo.
There's still plenty of time for this race effect to be ended, but Danny Pearce now is suddenly getting under a bit more pressure from XRL Lightning, but Lightning is on the option tyres, so he's definitely going to have to stop again. In 8th place LGS, he's on fresh prime, so he'll be holding out for the end of the race, and right behind him is Robbo. They're only about 2.5 seconds adrift, these two now. And yes, I would say Lightning has to pit again. There's no way he'll do 14 laps on a pair of options that have got lines on them. No chance.
Yeah, he does. He pitted about 5 laps ago, so yeah.
We've actually got a scrap going on between 7th and 6th place. XRL Lightning has really closed the gap on Danny Pearce. He's really caught up to him now. Coming up towards turn 4, thinking about an inside move, but he backs out of it at the last moment. But as a result of it, Danny Pearce has made a mistake. Danny Pearce is trying to hold Lightning up here, and Lightning's doing all he can to not have that loss in downforce affect him. As a mistake from Danny Pearce, nearly forced him off the track into the clear curve, and oh, Lightning smacking him in the rear end there. That's very dirty driving. You've got to be careful you don't do that, or you will be getting penalties. Inside of the hairpin, he's put him in the compromised position, and that was a demon pass there by XRL Lightning. Muscled his way through.
That's going to be the story from him today. Just sort of like, he's definitely having that position, and that's final.
It's like the old school Senna. It's like, we'll have a crash, and it's up to you if you want to have it.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, in the meantime, at the back end of the points, Tuppers is in 11th place, Perez in 10th. Connor Ice is way down in 12th. And then after that, that's the points of the last thing. Ice Cold Andy is out in the lead, and he's got a gap by quite some margin now on F1 Nige. We're talking 20 seconds. Absolutely huge. But it looks like F1 Nige has only just gone into the pits, which would explain that a little more. Question from Rustiness on the stream. Why is it Lightning always has contact when trying to pass?
He likes to just get in your face, doesn't he?
Well, meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton is now all over the back of Jambo. Unless Jambo's made a mistake, Hamilton suddenly found some lightning pace when he needs it. Running in P5, he's gone a little off the track though with the corner before clear curve. But at the same time, Jambo's gone wide at clear curve. And now we're heading down towards the Jaya Tierman corner, as it's called. I'm not saying that again. And up towards the end of sector 3. Just keeping the power down as gently as possible, Hamilton, trying to eke the grip out of the tyres. It's quite safe driving this. And I think he's going to be just about in the DRS zone, especially if he keeps going wide like that, Jambo. That's slowing him up at a crucial point. There goes the flat from Hamilton, so he's thinking game on. And Emu, meanwhile, up ahead is thinking this is good for me. On the brakes, well, Hamilton's got a little wide at the final hairpin, though he might get a little more grip on the old karting line here. Kerrs and DRS active, Hamilton's lining up the pass. Very good overspeed difference here when you've not got DRS, and Hamilton goes to the inside. Oh, it's like Webber and Vettel at Malaysia this season. That was very close indeed. Hamilton thinking about trying to go around the outside of turn 2. Has he got the grip for this?
He has, like, you know.
Side by side.
What a move that is! Right round the outside there, and Jambo couldn't do anything.
Jambo's thinking about the inside of turn 4. He's not giving up. He's thinking about muscling his way back through, and Jambo is holding the line, and he's just managed to force Hamilton's gone off the track. But we're going with 2 wheels, so that's technically legal. Good defensive driving there from Hamilton, really pushing the car to the absolute ragged edge. But Jambo's not giving up. There's now maybe 2 tenths between this pair. Jambo fighting for 5th and 4th positions into the final corner at this hairpin. And again, very, very wide line taken by Hamilton there, but he's just able to get on the power up the hill. It really pulls him along.
Jambo's just starting to drop off now. His tyres just have not got it.
So, I'm thinking he might dive into the pits for a pair of options.
He needs
10
to.
laps on the options, I'd fancy that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's losing that back end. He's only just got DRS, I would think.
Yeah, he might bring him close enough to have maybe a go, but I doubt it, to be honest.
He's stopping.
So, the question is, where's he going? He's in the pits, as I thought. He starts straight into the pits to try and get himself some fresh pair of boots. So now Emu and Hamilton have to put in some very quick laps indeed, because if he undercuts them, it could be dangerous.
LGS and Robbo are going to get past on an undercut, but they're both on prime tyres, and of course, we're going to have to see Jambo on the options. He'll be really lapping well. We've got Danny Pearce and Lightning still battling it out in P8. And Lightning is pitted for a set of primes.
That's interesting, unless he's burned out his option tyres. But on the high straight, Danny Pearce up the inside, nearly clattered the wall, but made his stick. What an overtake that was!
Oh, he's got a little bit...
A little bit of lost traction in turn 1 and 2, and Lightning, as a result, is fancying a side-by-side drag race down to turn 4. But Danny Pearce has held the line, and that's probably going to be position gained. Meanwhile, Jambo on the fresh option tyres now is some time behind Robbo. It's about 4.5 seconds maybe, and Robbo's about the same behind LGS. So that's 10 seconds theoretically he's got to make up on these guys. But then if the tyres are about a second and a half difference, touch and go that.
Danny Pearce has got the most best overtakes I've written down today.
Well, he might not be fighting for the top end of the points, but it's certainly putting on the entertainment. As Lightning's keeping with him, and those tyres are going to be fresher than Danny Pearce's, so Lightning will fancy his chances here, even if he is on the prime tyre, which is slower. We saw this at Malaysia for Rio when Webber preferred the prime tyres for his end stunt. Meanwhile, up ahead, in the pits, we've got a couple of guys diving into the pit lane as Jambo goes through. Now, who's in the pits? Robbo's gone through to P4. It's Emu and Hamilton, and Emu's come out just ahead, literally meters ahead of Jambo.
Both these guys are on the options.
Yeah, all three are on the options, and all three are insanely racy. This is going to get excellent. Crazy Fish saying this is the best race this season. It's only the second one, of course. But meanwhile, Jambo's really lit those tyres up as he's coming out of turn 4. He's determined to get after Emu. He wants that podium position. Because that's what they're really fighting for here, a net podium.
It's effectively third place. Who's in front of them then? We've got Robbo, who is on primes, won't have to pit again, and LGS, LGS has got about a 7-8 second gap with only 9 laps to go. It could happen.
Yeah, it could actually. You're quite right. Or we could end the lap, like literally 2 laps from the end. We could have one of our 5-car duels. Anything's possible.
I think Robbo's going to be caught within a couple of laps, but whether they can get by and get to LGS in time, who knows?
But Jambo's getting up behind Emu now very quickly indeed. There goes the DRS flap. He's got it open right away for the extra overrunning speed. Down towards the hairpin. He's a bit too far behind to have a go now, but he is going to get the second bite of the cherry. There goes the DRS line right there. Oh, he's got a massive oversteer moment out of the hairpin now. Really lit his tyres up. And as a result, it's destroyed his traction. But even with that, he's still closing Emu down. He's probably a bit too far behind. Is he thinking about a banzai move? No, he thinks better of it. And Hamilton behind him now is closing in very quickly as well. This is now a 3-car duel. And ahead of them, Robbo's only about 3 seconds clear. So it's just getting very, very close indeed. Hamilton coming up to turn 4, just following behind both Robbo and Jambo, and Emu. Jambo makes a mistake, goes a bit too wide at the exit. That allows Emu to pull away slightly, And Hamilton's in that dirty air now for these fast-flowing corners. When you've got clean air, they're beautiful to drive. When you've got dirty air, they're absolutely dreadful.
Now, will Robbo do LGS a favour here and hold them up? He is hoping yes.
Hamilton's gone wide at the hairpin. I don't know if that was a deliberate attempt to get out of the dirty air, or if he's just made a bit of a mistake. But that's made him drop a little behind as Jumbo. Jumbo's getting pretty ragged, kicking a lot of dust up and going very wide. So he's really thinking, okay, all-out attack, let's go for it.
Rusty's asking what that battle is a bit further back. We will have a look in a second. There doesn't seem to be anyone really there. If you're talking about P8 and 9, that is Lightning and Danny Pierce. I think Danny Pierce is starting to break away a little bit.
Jumbo getting right underneath the gearbox of Emu, but once again his rear end is very, very twitchy. But he's still very, very close up the inside. Is he going to go to the inside? No, he's dummied to the out. And as a result, he's got to make sure he can get this car stuck on the corner. Oh, Emu nearly rear-ended him completely there, and that's forced him a little wide, but luckily that gives him the inside line for 2. But Emu's taken a different approach to try and go down under turn 4. But Jumbo makes the move stick. Fantastic driving. Into turn 4 now, Emu's better on the brakes and better on the gas. Look at how much he's hustling the back of Jumbo there. He's really got the traction off that corner into the fast chicane. And Emu is really all over the back of him, trying to force that mistake. Jumbo's not having any of it, and he's absolutely resisting. These guys are really putting on a big battle towards the end of the race now. Emu goes a little wide at turn 4, as does Hamilton, but it's not affected the traction, and Jumbo's not getting away from any of them. So Hamilton thinks about the outside of Emu at the hairpin, but backs out of it at the last possible moment.
Robbo's starting to become in range.
He is indeed, as Emu goes all 4 wheels off on the inside again at the start of Sector 3. I've seen this quite a few times from him now. He's got to be very careful. Well, as a result, Emu now very close to the back of Jumbo. Look at the drive he got there. Off the back of Jumbo, he's going to reserve the DRS range. Now, the question is Jumbo getting close enough for DRS on Robbo? I don't think he is.
Not quite.
Well, Hamilton's now going to be close. Look at that. They've almost contacted for the hairpin. Emu's got loads of extra pace here. Surely this is going to be a formality of the DRS. Well, maybe not, because Jumbo still manages to drag him despite having no DRS. He may have defended with Kurz there. Either way, he's made it stick. And Emu's gone wide at turn 1, trying to make it as an undercut move for turn 2. But again, Jumbo's just holding the high ground. And behind them, Hamilton's coming in close. And the Robbo, he's falling in very, very quickly indeed. Emu on the outside towards turn 4. Surely he's not going to have enough room to go on the outside here. He's going to have to yield. But again, Jumbo's got poor traction. He keeps on sliding the car.
He's too trigger happy. That's what it is. He's just getting on the accelerator a bit too sharply.
Emu once again going through those fast-flowing chicanes. And we're coming through now through clear curve. And he's having to back off there. It's a place where you can't follow very easily.
The Hamilton's just hovering.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, Hamilton's suddenly very, very close, isn't he? He's really got behind these guys. But Emu up ahead is definitely closing in on Jumbo. Keeping it in this time in the white lines. Good boy, Emu.
He's just dropped off, hasn't he? Slightly. Oh, Jumbo's going to have a little go.
Well, Jumbo's gone very, very wide here. But at the same time, he's managed to rescue it. I don't know how.
He's got DRS
open, but Jumbo's got it now on the Robbo as well.
Robbo, you've been caught, and the chase is over.
Well, the question is, chasing is one thing, passing is quite another, and it's a question as to whether he can do it.
He's gone right on the back now.
Oh, it's a double car move, this. There goes Jumbo to the outside. Where's Emu in the middle of all this? He's hung back deliberately, and it looks like he's going to try and follow Jumbo through. But at the same time, Robbo's not giving up. And what defensive driving from Robbo there, pushing right to the absolute limit. But he's going to have to yield. Jumbo.
Here comes Emu, here comes Emu.
Emu smacks on the inside of Jumbo. Yields, doesn't take the advantage, but he's got the inside line. Both guys managing to get through the corner, and Hamilton, as a result, is all the way at the back of Robbo, cuts to the inside, drives right past him on the chicane, and as a result, he's up behind the Emu now. He's chasing very quickly behind Jambo. Both cars go off, and Lewis Hamilton is going on the inside and clear curve. There's been contact. Emu goes off. And that, for me, Hamilton's going to have to yield that place. He's going to have to give that place back. Well, Hamilton's two racing now. The red mist has come down. Emu is going to be furious beneath that helmet. There's going to be no love lost when he gets back in range. 5 laps to go, viewers. It's going to be a classic to the end. And a bit of a mistake there from Hamilton. He's cut the inside, hit the bollard, and as a result now, the Emu's going to be close enough, but not close enough for DRS. The question is he going to be close enough in the main corner to get the second bite of cherry?
LGS, is he going to be safe, or that's like 4 seconds, it's tight, you know?
Yeah, because again, these guys got very, very close to each other.
They're all scrapping, aren't they?
Yes. I think that's the thing, though. If they're scrapping, then LGS is just going to have enough time in the bank to pull away. But the same that Emu's all over the back now of Hamilton, and I think he's going to be doing a bit of argy-bargy to stay our place back. Using curves down towards turn 4, Emu. He wants to get as close as possible. And the Hamilton, he's gone at the inside, he's gone a little wide, but so is Emu. Emu's going to have to be patient. There's plenty of time left in this race yet. And he goes a little wide at the exit of the chicane. Into a clear curve. All 3 guys taking it nice and smooth. At the moment, it's nice and simple.
They're a little bit more split apart than what they were. And this may be helping as a team to catch LGS, you know. When they're all close and fighting, it's harder to close the gap. But they're all a bit more split apart now.
Well, that'd be an interesting approach if that was the case. Well, Hamilton now is getting much, much closer to the back of Jambo, and Emu has fallen off. Whether that's strategy or whether he's burned his tyres, I don't know. But Hamilton's definitely going to have the DRS here on Jambo, and there goes the flat, and Jambo's nowhere near close enough to LGS, so he's not going to be safe. So Jambo's going to have to be defensive here, locking up on the inside corner. Hamilton much more smooth. And he's got the DRS, he's got half his curves bar as well, Hamilton, so he's got the extra 80 horsepower. That pulls him along. He's right in the slipstream now.
He's his personal best.
135.6, very fast indeed. Up the inside, there's contact with Jambo, who's turned in and pushed him off the track. What was that?
That is a shame.
Emu has just gone right through as a result, but what the hell was that? After all that wonderfully close, respectful driving, we get that in the final couple of laps. What an absolute travesty.
Well, can Robbo hold on to that 6th place finish, or can Jambo take it? Emu's just gone slightly wide there. I'd like to think that Jambo could still beat Robbo. But, oh man, it's so annoying. I don't think that's Lewis Hamilton's fault myself.
In what sense? He had his car ahead and then he turned in on him. How's that his fault? That's how I saw it anyway.
We'll get it on I'll be on the stream afterwards, I'm sure.
Well, that will be investigated, no doubt about it.
Lewis Hamilton here though. This could be a podium.
It could be if you can catch LGS, but LGS has got a decent pace. Oh, he's gone all the way on the inside there, though, LGS. That'll slow him down somewhat. And at the same time, there's 3 laps to go. Oh, this could be nip and tuck, this. But also, Emu has got the DRS on Lewis Hamilton. So if Emu keeps him honest, that will just give LGS enough space to get away with it. Emu getting up to the back of Hamilton, just not close enough here at the moment.
If we're going by fastest laps, Lewis Hamilton should easily have him by the end of the next lap. But it's not just like that, is it?
No, because Hamilton's once again gone wide at turn 4. So that's going to be slowing him down, getting junk on his tyres. And as we go through the fast sweepers on towards the clear curve, This part is, if you got clear air, it's beautiful, but when you've not, it's just absolutely dreadful to drive. It's a clear curve now, and a bit wide there by Hamilton. He's getting a bit ragged, doing what he can to wring as much possible from the car. LGS is maybe 3 seconds ahead now. Oh, this is going to get pretty tight, this. And we've seen what's happened when the tight roads put so far today. It's been pretty aggressive.
Yeah, that gap is going down. It's going to be a last lap thing, isn't it?
Oh, this could be a chaotic end to the race, as Emu's also still within that area as well. No DRS zone this time though for Emu. He's too far back, and at the same time Hamilton's going to be the same on LGS. So this is a bit of a train at the moment, a bit of a processional train. But I don't expect it to last long. And LGS is gone.
2 laps in the end. Are you kidding me?
What the hell? Well, that's just absolutely annoying. So Emu now, well, he now knows he can battle for a podium. So he might get the red mist down to go do one last final banzai move.
Jambo's close to Robbo. Oh, you race 2 hours like that, and then that happens.
And then get disconnected. It's absolutely shameful. Meanwhile, Hamilton starts to go a little wide. Emu, however, has got a smoother line off turn 4, and as a result, is moving much quicker. Do you want me to get him in?
Yeah.
If he will join us, I imagine that he's not going to be too happy and not want to say too much, but we want to find out what happened.
Oh, Lewis Hamilton's gone onto the grass, and he's lost a position to Emu there. Oh, no, that's not the way we wanted to see that happen. And Lewis Hamilton's now 1.5 seconds down on Emu, and Emu, this should be a podium for him.
Mistake from Hamilton. LGS, what happened, mate?
I go.
I mean, you're putting some really strong pace there. To be let down on the final couple of laps is, well, very frustrating. Because we were looking forward to a final battle there between the pair of you. Overall, was the race enjoyable though?
Enjoyable, yeah. I started at the back and very enjoyable trying to get through the field.
Well, do you think you've got the pace to make it up in China?
Yeah, I think my pace in China's much better.
Well, there's a warning shot fired to the field right there. Well, we're going to get back to the track action. Sorry about what happened, mate, but congratulations on a really good debut race in F1. And hell, hopefully we'll see you tear at the track in China. Bye-bye. Well, meanwhile, Robbo now is very, very close to being followed by Jambo. This is going to be a last lap duel between these two. Sorry, Dan, what were you about to say?
I can't remember. I'm just going to keep on Jambo now. This is the P5 then, 10 championship points. I think Jambo deserves, you know.
Provided he's not responsible for that accident earlier on.
Yeah. Gone wide.
No, that was the thing though then, LGS. My pace is much stronger in China. That's a warning shot fired across the bows of the field, isn't it? Because his pace hasn't exactly been slow here.
Exactly. Very different strategy, but it really works today.
Considering he started 14th on the grid as well, you know, a sensational piece. It was 15th on the grid actually, even starting all the way down there. Unbelievable.
So Jambo's got one shot.
He's got the DRS. He will technically have 2, but it won't be enough. He needs to get right next to him, and I think Robbo's just done enough here. And indeed, Jambo has started to lose a bit of connection there. It's ghosted on my screen. There goes the DRS flat, but it's not enough. And Robbo hangs on to 5th place as a Caterham has hit the wall after the race as a Hamilton.
Yeah.
He managed to cross the line with a broken car. What's all that about? Well,
right. We'll get the top 3 in.
We'll get these guys in here for a discussion. I'll get them in for you, no worries.
Cheers.
Oh.
Wow, that is one of the best races we've had.
It was close, it was there, and it was fast, it was respectful in the main. And it also didn't have rain. So we actually had a proper, from start to finish, scrap between everybody. Mr. Ice Cold Andy, congratulations on the second win.
Yeah, it was pretty good actually. It was, Nudge kept up with me in the first part of the race, and then went up to start pulling away. And definitely, I was surprised at the amount of pace I had, and I was also surprised at the advantage I had in qualifying as well. I wasn't expecting that big an advantage as well, but the race certainly went well.
Well, so, I mean, next week, Caesar's taking up the track in China. That's similarity to this in many ways. Do you reckon you've got any more pace in the hand there, or is it going to be a different track for you?
I don't know. China's quite a nice circuit. I really like it, but I'm not going to be optimistic in any way. I'm just going to see how it goes.
Wonderful, congratulations. Well, second place, was that the get from the car?
Well, I couldn't have gone any quicker. In fairness, it was a flawless race from where I was sitting. I couldn't have drove any better, and yet somehow so far off the pace.
Well, you say you're so far off the pace, but you two really rumped away from the pack in the earlier laps. So you managed to avoid some of the more intense action that was behind you. What's your pace like in China? Do you think you got more chance there?
Probably still be 30 seconds off Andy by the end.
Oh dear, well, so, I mean, 9 races this season, plenty of time to make up.
That's it.
Well, Emu, you seem to be a wall today. Race, taking someone then being overtaken. Was that entertaining for you?
Yeah, it was had some pretty good battles out there. A lot of time, it was clean, so it was pretty good. Wasn't expecting to find myself that far down. Really struggling today.
But I mean, it seemed that you had like a bit of a poor rub at the start on the first lap, but then after that, when you were able to get some pace down, you really started reeling in the guys at the front. Does that give you confidence moving ahead to China?
To be honest with you, I think a podium would be a good result there. Right, get anywhere near there again.
But I mean, you certainly showed you had the pace there today, so it's definitely coming forward.
Yeah, pace is alright. Still about 2 seconds off Andy though.
Okay, well, anyway, viewers, you've witnessed potential classic today. We have plenty arriving, plenty of aggressive moves, incidents, overtakes, all the works. And next week, of course, we find ourselves in China for round 3 of the F1 division. Tomorrow night, of course, you've got GP2, where the likes of Bernie, Sean Bean, and Perez are going to be in action amongst all the regulars. GP3, of course, takes place on Tuesday night. And then we have the double header of F4 and F5000 on the Wednesday. And then we've got the XRL Classics debuting on Thursday. So that's going to be interesting, where the 80s and the 90s cars get brought back. All brought to you here by GT Omega Racing and Gamebot.co.uk. For all of you who've watched, thank you very much, and good night.